Good morning, Lexington. My name is Megan, and today I am reporting live from yet another alcohol-related incident right here on the University of Kentucky's campus. It appears that two young women chose to get behind the wheel after a night of partying, resulting in a crashed car into a tree. Luckily, both the driver and passenger sustained only minor injuries. Let's chat with our victims and get a better idea of what went down last night. Hi, can you tell us your name?
Anna.
Anna, tell us a little bit more about your night. How much did you drink?
Well, I went out around 11 and I probably had about 5 shots and 2 beers throughout the night. Then around 2 a.m., the party was dying down, so I decided it was time to go home. My car was parked a couple houses down, so I decided to drive me and my friend the short 5 miles to our apartment.
I'm sure you've been told this before, but you should never drink and drive, no matter the amount you've consumed. The legal blood alcohol content is 0.08, and if you're 21, any alcohol content is illegal. According to a drug-free world, alcohol immediately begins absorption into the bloodstream from the stomach, where it then takes minutes to reach the brain and begin its suppressive effects. From there, the remaining 80% of alcohol is absorbed through your small intestine.
I didn't think it affected me that quickly. I mean, I knew I was a little buzzed when I left the party, but I thought I was good to drive. I was walking fine.
Why don't we take a more in-depth look at the physiological effects of alcohol on the brain and body?
Alcohol not only affects your decision-making skills, it also affects your health and the way your body works. Alcohol can affect your brain, heart, liver, pancreas, and your immune system. Your brain controls everything that you do, and alcohol can make your brain think in different ways because it interferes with your brain's communication pathways. This can cause your mood to change as well as your behavior. When your behavior changes, it could affect some of the decisions that you make based on how you feel under the influence. Alcohol can make you do some things that you would never imagine doing sober, because your brain is not communicating to your body correctly, which causes your thinking to be not as clear and your coordination is not where it should be. Your heart can be damaged from too much alcohol in a short period of time. It can also be damaged from drinking too much alcohol consistently over a longer period of time. You could develop heart problems like cardiomyopathy, which is the stretching and drooping of your heart muscle, arrhythmias, which is an irregular heartbeat. You could have a stroke, and you can also develop high blood pressure. Drinking moderate amounts of alcohol does not cause heart issues, but it's better to be safe than sorry. The liver processes what you eat and drink into energy and nutrients your body can use. It also removes harmful substances from your body. When you drink alcohol, your liver has to work really hard to remove it from your bloodstream. This can cause your liver to develop problems like steatosis, also known as fatty liver, alcohol hepatitis, fibrosis, cirrhosis, or even liver failure. When you drink more alcohol than your liver can process, you have a greater chance of developing these diseases over time. Alcohol causes the pancreas to produce toxic substances, and over time these substances can cause problems with your pancreas. The main problem that this causes is pancreatitis, which is a dangerous inflammation and swelling of the blood vessels in the pancreas. Pancreatitis prevents proper digestion. It can also occur as a sudden attack that includes symptoms such as abdominal pain, nausea, vomiting, increased heart rate, and fever. It can also occur over time, which slowly deteriorates the pancreas, leading to diabetes and even possibly death. Drinking too much weakens your immune system, making it easier to get diseases. Heavy drinkers are more likely to contract diseases such as pneumonia and tuberculosis than people that are not big drinkers. Also, drinking a lot on a single occasion causes your body to lose the ability to fight off infections 24 hours after being drunk. We only get one body, and it is not worth drinking a lot and giving up the ability for your body to perform correctly. Drinking not only affects your body while you're drinking, it could possibly damage it permanently for the rest of your life.
There are many consequences when it comes to drinking and driving. The legal consequences include temporary impounding of your vehicle, a fine of several $1,000s or more, installation of an ignition lock, which prevents you from starting your car if you've been drinking, pretty much a breathalyzer test every time you get behind the wheel, probation, jail time, the night you get your DUI, and possible jail time after your court date, revocation of your license, community service, and completion of substance abuse classes, which you are required to pay for out of your own pocket. All of these consequences of drinking while driving are legal consequences. but there are also others as well, such as the embarrassment. It's on your record, so if you apply for a job, employers will be able to see this and it could prevent them from hiring you. You could possibly hurt an innocent person on the road, like someone else's family member or friend, or even your own. And your reputation would be bad to the community because people don't have sympathy for drinking and driving. After interviewing police officers, a student who has received a DUI at the University of Kentucky, and the University of Kentucky's student population, these were the main consequences mentioned by a large group of people.
Now that you know more about the toll that alcohol takes on your body, as well as the serious consequences that can arise, what would you have done differently if this situation ever happens again?
Well, I certainly wouldn't drive again. I probably won't even have a car there for that to be an option. I don't know, maybe walk?
Well, luckily for you and any other student out there are a variety of services available to ensure you get home safely. These include Lyft and Uber, which work almost like a taxi service, but much cheaper. You simply download the app, enter your credit card information, and request a ride. If you don't wish to pay, there are free university-sponsored services, including CATS Cap and Radar. Of course, there is also the option of walking home, calling a sober friend, designating someone to be the driver ahead of time, or getting a ride provided by the party.
I've heard of Lyft and Uber. Didn't they start out in California? And also, isn't it really expensive? I'm broke, so I really don't have that much money to spend on cab services.
That may be the case, but there is no price on your safety. And by the looks of it, you'll be paying much more on damages than the receipt your ride home would have been. And yes, in an article written by mad.org, a report estimates that after the introduction of Uber, nearly 1,800 crashes have been prevented in California since July 2012. A survey indicated that 78% of participants agreed that ride-sharing reduces the instances of drunk driving.
That's a really good point. This crash will probably cost me over $8,000.
You are at fault here, but your friend is also just as guilty. One, for letting you get behind the wheel in the first place, and two, for choosing to ride with someone she knew to have been drinking. Let's look a little bit more and learn what could have been done to prevent this. Drunk driving is a serious offense. 17% of college-age students admit to getting behind the wheel after consuming 5 or more alcoholic beverages, and because of this, the rate of motor vehicle accidents skyrockets. We all have a social responsibility to look out for each other when engaging in potentially dangerous activities such as drinking. It is so important to look out for your friends when they may be in a situation that could quickly turn fatal. If you know your friend must drive that night, keep a close eye on how much they drink and ensure that they stop drinking with plenty of time for the alcohol to work its way through their system. If you feel they are still too intoxicated to safely drive, take their keys and help them find an alternate way home. As mentioned earlier, sometimes your friend may get defensive and insist they truly are okay. In these cases, use your best judgment, but if you decide it's still too risky, try explaining to them that you care about their safety and do not wish to see them or anyone else hurt. It may help to recruit some other people at the party or bar to convince your friend of your reasoning. In the best case scenario, it is beneficial to plan sober rides before the night even begins. That way, there is no confusion when it comes time to leave. This will also help alleviate the stress of keeping close tabs on someone if they are the designated driver but still decide to drink a little bit. While it's important to watch out for your friends, you also need to hold yourself accountable. If you know you need to drive, limit yourself to 1 to 2 drinks and stop drinking at least an hour before departure. Or don't drink at all. If you know you are too intoxicated to drive, don't. It is not fair to put you or the passengers' lives at risk. Let's talk to the passenger riding with Anna. Good morning. What's your name?
I'm Savannah.
Hi, Savannah. Tell me more about your night.
Well, I was already at the party when Anna showed up, and I had only a couple of glasses of hooch that night. When it was time to leave, Anna said she had her car and she could drive us home. She seemed okay to me, but then again, my judgment was probably a little off. I had no idea how much she drank, but clearly it was too much to drive.
Clearly. Did you know that you can get in just as much legal trouble by riding with an intoxicated driver than if you were the one driving? Not to mention you're underage. You're putting your own life and reputation at risk, too.
Yeah, I know. I should have thought that one through. I wasn't that drunk. I just jumped at the opportunity to get a ride home.
Another thing you should have done was prevent Anna from driving. If you even suspect that your friend may be drunk, it's your responsibility as their friend to take their keys and ensure that they do not endanger themselves or others. Think about how you would have felt if you knew that you had the opportunity to prevent an accident and it ended up being fatal. That guilt would weigh on you for the rest of your life.
I never thought of it that way. I know now how to intervene and look out for my friends.
Okay, well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you, ladies, for sharing your time and stories. Hopefully you too have learned more about the consequences that can come from driving while under the influence of alcohol, as well as learn more about the alternative resources available to you and ways to prevent your friends from hurting themselves or others. I'm Megan on Lex 18, signing off.
Drinking and driving is a major issue in our society, especially on college campuses. There's other ways to get home after a night of drinking, such as calling a friend, walking, Uber, Lyft, or Cat's Cab. It isn't worth ruining your reputation, hurting yourself, or someone else. Drinking and driving is 100% preventable.